Welcome to today's Apwazi Wine Buzz episode. And today's guest is Michael McLarney. And I'm going to let Michael tell you all about himself. Now, Michael, with a last name like McLarney, is that Scottish?
I'm afraid it's Irish. It rhymes with Blarney, Doctor, and thanks for having me on today. It's a pleasure.
So it's actually Irish. So then Scottish whiskey is not preferred over the Irish whiskey then. Would that be?
I gotta say, I'm a Jameson man myself.
Okay. Absolutely fine discerning taste that you have. Now, you're the CEO of Hardlines. Tell us what is Hardlines.
Sure. Thanks, Doctor. Hardlines is an information service for the retail home improvement industry. That means we send out newsletters and news updates and build reports and hold conferences for the industry that is served by the hardware retailers. If you worked at a Rona store, if you owned a home hardware, if you worked at Home Depot or Canadian Tire's head office, we would be sending out information to you on a regular basis. And likewise, if you're one of the suppliers that were serving them, whether it's a Black & Decker or a Taiga Building Supplies, they all receive our information as well. We do daily news, weekly news, monthly newsletters, as well as, I say, a monthly or a quarterly a magazine, a traditional print magazine that still goes out to hardware dealers across the country. So that's our turf, and that's what we cover.
So your turf has taken many, many years to develop, enhance, and also have those close relationships, which are envied across any industry. I know you've been in this for quite a number of years. How many years would that be, Michael?
I've been in, I don't really want to say. No,
okay. We'll leave that one out. But let's just say
Hardlines has been in business for coming up to 30 years now.
30 years now.
Yeah, we started, believe it or not, we started as a fax newsletter in 1995. So we've evolved our business and watched the evolution of the retail home improvement industry at the same time with the arrival of the big boxes and the Home Depots of the world, the disappearance of the rise and fall of Revy building centers, for example. We've seen it all, and it's been our job to keep track of it, make sense of it, and report on it in a truthful and clear way to our readers.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the word truthful and clear, because in today's day and age, you want to have someone who's reliable, someone that you can trust, and the words that they are sharing with those out there are not only meaningful, but they carry weight with them. Now, I know, Michael, your firm has been involved with the Cologne Fair. Tell us a little bit more about that Cologne Fair.
Absolutely. For anybody in any industry, I find there's probably a trade show or some kind of a conference you'll gather to to get new ideas, new product or service information. And for the hardware industry, there are certainly trade shows both regionally and North America wide. But as far as I'm concerned, the go-to for what's new in hardware and fasteners and hand tools and power tools, it's the Eisenwehrmesse, the International Hardware Fair in Cologne, Germany, held every 2 years in the spring in the city of Cologne on the Rhine River in northern Germany.
And I visited Cologne, and it's a beautiful venue indeed, with the Cologne Cathedral. Now, it's every 2 years. So the upcoming fair will be in 2024.
Yes, that's correct. March, in fact, the dates are March 3rd to 6th in 2024.
Okay. So today we've got you on the show because you've got something special that you really want to share with our audience out there. Anyone who appreciates quality in terms not only of the fair itself, but also where they stay, what they eat, who they mix with, and in a way, recycle, meet, and recharge. So I know that, we've put together a riverboat cruise. Could you share a little bit about that and what makes this one more unique in terms than just your other ordinary cruise that they might go on?
All right. I'd like to just preface that by saying that the cruise itself that we're going to talk about, I'm very excited to, ties in with the hardware fair. And the hardware fair has always been a destination, not for enough Canadians, I'm afraid to say. Whenever I've been going to that show for many, many years, I'm always blown away by the new product ideas, not just new products, but how things are packaged, how they're merchandised, how they're or arranged to put on the shelves. The European design sensibility is over the top and always at least 5 years ahead of what's going on in North America. So and as the Canadian representatives for the show, we've always held we call a Canada Night reception, where we bring together Canadians and any other visitors we can. So we've always tried to create an experience at the
So,
Cologne Hardware Fair to make it appealing for Canadians going over to it.
okay. So will
Yeah.
those Canadians visiting the fair, coordinating with you, have something special? I mean, on this riverboat cruise?
Well, this is the thing. I think the idea of adding a riverboat cruise is just the next step. We want to make sure that we're part of, and we're doing this in relationship or in partnership with the with you folks, as well as the Building Supply Industry Association of British Columbia. So we've all of us have gotten together and put our heads together to say, how can we make the experience and the draw for Canadians just so compelling that they won't want to miss the show. And I think this idea of having a cruise, because the show sits actually on the banks of the Rhine, and every year I've gone for 20 plus years, Doctor, and every year I think wouldn't mind taking a Rhine cruise, but it's always too early in the season, so they haven't started yet. But that's worked in our favor because we've been able to arrange just in the off season, just before the season starts,
Sure.
a special deal with a cruise ship and a cruise line that can take us from Cologne all the way up to Amsterdam, and that's a 6 day cruise, and it's gonna be outstanding. And it's kind of neat because a big part of going to the hardware fair in Cologne, the show is so big that every hotel in the city fills up. And
Okay.
so what we've got now is an arrangement with this cruise line that they will allow us to sit on, use the boat, use the ship for the 3 days during the show. So that means we've got a floating hotel.
Wow. So just to be clear here, Michael, so with this cruise ship, working with Expedia Cruise Ship Center in Surdell, and with the BSIA and yourself and ourselves, you have managed to secure that the participants who book for this riverboat cruise could actually spend their nights on the vessel during the duration of the fair. Is that correct?
Absolutely correct. And so that means that's a saving probably of $1,000 right there, at least.
Oh, wow.
3 nights in Cologne is going to be at least $1,000, and so that's going to be an extraordinary saving and a convenience. I mean, what a convenience for people that are trying to negotiate this show, especially for the first time. If you're coming over to visit us for the first time, it's a lot to take in, and it's just an overwhelming show. Add to that, the fact that we're going to go away and have a chance to decompress and network and have some fun on this cruise. It's a lot to take in. So the fact that we can have one central base of operations for the show and the cruise is, I think, brilliant.
Okay, so the participants can come in, they've booked on the riverboat cruise, they can stay on the vessel itself. Now, I presume that all the drinks during the period and the food is all included while they are there on the hotel period, during the Cologne period, and then thereafter it's all taken care of as well.
Exactly. So, not only is your accommodation covered during the duration of your visit to the show, but your food and drink. So that's probably another $1,000 there, because you can spend, if you've got a group of you, you can spend a lot of money, as you know, overseas on a business trip or any kind of trip,
Of course.
pretty quickly. So this is a huge advantage.
So they can stay on the vessel, drinks are provided, food is provided, and then after the end of the show, they go on this trip from Cologne, going all the way up to Amsterdam. And I believe there's also activities and there's events as well during the entire period.
And absolutely, and something I think you could probably speak to that better than I could, Doctor, because I understand that you bring your expertise with wine and cigars. And our cruise organizer, Dean McIntosh, is a certified Red Seal chef, and so we've got lots of things lined up. This will be a really nice time away.
I think it's going to be fantastic because it's not just whiskey, cigars, caviar, champagne, but wines of the world and cognacs. And certainly I'm looking forward to giving some talks there, as I know Dean will be. And Is this a one-off, or are you looking at this being something of a feature for future fairs, Michael?
Well, I'd love to see it become a regular event. It's certainly been a tremendous amount of work from all of us to put this together, and I'd love to see it really take off. So hopefully it'll be an every year event or every other year event, because what a great way to attract people from Canada and North America to join us in Cologne and to experience this hardware fair at its best. And that's just, I haven't even mentioned, you touched on, but even the town of Cologne itself is a wonderful historic city. It's very modern, at the same time very rooted in history, with one of the most spectacular examples of Gothic architecture in the world, with the Dome Cathedral in the Old Town. Some of the greatest, finest beers you'll taste anywhere, with their local Kolsch beer that they serve, and just great food and just great people. So it's a win-win-win-win-win as far as I'm concerned. It's just
Okay.
going to be a great event.
Now, just something I'd like to add there. Participants can go on their own, and then, they will get entry into the fair itself. But when they join this this particular riverboat cruise, they don't just get VIP entrance, they get the VVIP entrance from the Cologne Fair itself, which is something you've arranged.
That's exactly correct. We're going to make sure that anybody that's a buyer or a dealer coming over from Canada will get absolute top notch service and be accommodated on the show floor and at the event itself. And for vendors, we're going to make sure that they can easily participate as well, or agents that are looking for new lines. It's the kind of show that's got appeal for everybody.
Okay, so we've got food, we've got exquisite cuisine, top class, as you would expect from riverboat cruises, of the highest quality you would want and you will receive. You're going to have entertainment. You're going to have cultural immersion programs in the evening. There's entertainment as well. Entry into the VVIP for the fair itself. And another aspect is, I was told by the Expedia cruise ship dean that the ticket itself includes, the pricing of the cruise includes all gratuities and all taxes as well, because normally they add that on after the pricing, but it's all included. So that's a huge saving. And is there anything that you yourself, I know you always like to book near the end, Michael, but in this particular case, we have to get all your bookings in to the audience out there before the end of September. That is, in the words of Michael's company, that's a hard line. You have to book. So maybe there's something you want to say there, Michael.
Absolutely. I think that timing's perfect for this. This cruise partner has given us till near the end of September, which means that I think people should have a pretty good idea of where they want to be 6 months down the road in the spring of 2024. And it should be easy for people to really assess their ability to go and pull the trigger on this. And I just encourage anybody to do so, because it's going to be something special. It really is. And I can't encourage Canadians enough to get out to the show itself, just from a business standpoint. Tack on this cruise, and you can talk to your bookkeeper, but expense the whole darn thing as far as I'm concerned. And just because we're going to make sure that there's going to be people on board, industry leaders that you'll be able to rub shoulders with, and we're hoping to invite a couple of people from even the European retail industry as well to join us. So you'll just be surrounded by people you'll learn from and create lasting relationships with.
Right. So just to sort of summarize everything, riverboat cruise, Cologne, you can stay on the vessel during the show, and then after the show, there's a great 6-day cruise, which will take you all the way from Cologne up to Amsterdam. Drinks, food, entertainment, gratuities, taxes, all included in that price. And further to that, they're going to have your company there too, Michael.
Well, I hope they come anyway. Absolutely. We want to make sure that it's as simple a process as possible. No hidden charges. Once people get themselves to Cologne, we will take care of everything.
Okay. So for those viewers and audience who are listening or watching, if you'd like to be able to get onto this riverboat cruise, then look at the link that we have, and you'll be able to dial and book straight in, and the Expedia Cruise Ship Center people through Dean McIntosh will be able to take care of it, or reach out directly to Michael. And Michael, thank you very much for being on the show.
Dr. Lee, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Please comment, like, share, or subscribe to our videos.